Hi survivors, it's me representing reporting to you. Excuse the quality of this video, but I'm at a location that I don't want to disclose to the public. However, today I'm speaking about how the entire system around us is falling apart right before our very, very eyes. I don't know if people are paying attention, if you guys are paying attention, because it may seem like things are still a little bit normal or whatever, or people sometimes we be in denial. You know I'm very guilty of that. I used to be in denial of a lot of things, and it was right in my face, but I didn't want to see it for what it was, especially relationships, whether it was a family member or a lover, or whatever the case might have been, a business relationship. But I'm talking about this system. This system is completely falling apart. The good thing about it is we have no other choice, if we're talking about surviving, to go back to how our grandparents used to live back in the day on a homestead or our own land, and growing our own fruits and vegetables and raising our own animals and whatnot, you know what I mean? And just being totally self-reliant. You living off the land. And go back to community involvement. You know how we used to do back in the day, speak to our neighbors, do for our neighbors would do for us. I remember when I was younger, my grandparents assigned tasks, weekly tasks, sometimes daily tasks for us to do for our neighbors. Whether it was to be to cut their yard, like the men in our family had to cut their yard, or whether it was for us to go and check on the elderly, see how you doing. How you doing, Miss Elnora? How you doing, Miss Mary? Is there anything that I could do for you today? And we bet not had accepted a dime from them. So we're gonna have to go back to those days. It would be times when the neighbors would do things for my grandparents, like during Easter, the Easter weekend, preparing for Easter Sunday at church, because my grandfather was a minister. Miss Nora, our next door neighbor, who was also my godmother, may she rest in peace, she did all of our hair. She used to do our hair in the pretty Shirley temple curls. She used to make our Easter baskets, and I just loved that lady. She had a peach tree in her yard. She didn't mind us getting the peaches, but we had better ask before we went out there and got them. Even though in the right season, they would fall off the tree. Sometimes they would fall into our yard, but she would let us get the peaches, but we would have to be respectful and ask her for it. So I'm kind of thanking God for it at the same time, even though I know there's so many people hurting, so many of us, I'm including myself, hurting behind the downfall of a system. Or some people may just be all right. Some people came up during the pandemic. Some people may just be hurting to see other people go through these hard times, but people need to start coming together. And this is something that really, really needs to happen. Now, the bad thing about it is it's catching a lot of people who are not prepared off guard, and they don't have alternative methods and ways and options of living, and they're just kind of stuck. A lot of people are without work. A lot of people are without homes. A lot of people are used to going to a job every day, depending on a job for income. A lot of people are dependent on cars that they don't own to get them here and there and every day. Some people are dependent on the public transportation system, which is something that we'll never own. I don't want to say never, but it's almost impossible. But nothing's impossible with God. But we depending on everybody and everything else to do something for us that we need to do for ourselves. So the bad thing is, with the system falling, it's we have to try to stay on top of it. And those who haven't been prepping, and those who haven't been preparing, and those who don't have their mind on ownership are in trouble. Those who have been totally reliant on the system for everything, to educating their children, to going to buy clothes out their stores, to going to buy food out their stores, to living in these housing, whether it's government mandated housing programs, or if it's just regular housing with your landlord. Everything that we have been used to is falling apart. It's falling. I'm telling y'all now, it's just going to be a matter of time for it all crash. And the city's going to be ballistic. The healthcare system is falling. People are walking off these jobs, y'all. They're mandating these certain things that people have to do that a lot of people do not want to do. They're totally opposed to. And everybody have their reasons for doing it. And I'm going to say allegedly. because I don't want to be censored off this platform. It's a shortages in the healthcare workers. It's a shortages in the school system with teachers, counselors, principals, presidents, vice presidents, people on the boards. What's that meeting that they used to have with the parents and all that? Those types of organizations are falling because people are not coming together. They don't want to group anymore, afraid of all these different things that are out here. There are shortages with bus drivers. There's severe food shortages. A lot of people are walking away from these jobs, so there's shortages in staff all around the world. A lot of people now are having to shut down their businesses because people are not returning back to their jobs. The system as we once knew it is falling apart. There's lack of water in these stores, lack of non-perishables. There's a lack of supplies that we were once accustomed to going, whether it be to Home Depot or whatever the case. It's a lack of school supplies. It's lack of shortages all around the board. There's a lack of it's a lack of cars right now due to that car chip that's not available for these car manufacturers to use to continue to manufacture and distribute these cars. And God forbid it kick in that you got to have that thing in order to go to the grocery store, in order to go to the gas station, in order to live where you're living, in order to get food, in order to have shelter, and in order to have water, in order to cross state lines and travel. Get your house in order, y'all. I'm begging you, I'm pleading you, and I'm doing the same. The time is coming. It's just a matter of time. The system is falling right before our eyes. Don't expect to hear about it on your local media. They know it, but they want to keep us distracted with all these other things that don't really have nothing to do with us. It's a part of what they're doing. Keep your mind and your body, keep it focused on what lies ahead, on what's going on now. Every day you wake up, if you don't pray first, meditate, or whatever the case is, you should have your mind on what you need to do for that day. Before you go to work or after you get off of work, to prep and to plan and prepare to get yourself ready for what lies ahead. Oh, I should say for what lies now. Talk to your children about what's going on. Get their minds prepared and in the direction it needs to be going in, because you're gonna need each other. I'm telling you that now. Everybody gonna need each other. I'm telling you that right now. It's getting worse. It's bad. It's real bad. I was doing sales. Sometimes I have a sales business where I've done sales for years, whether it's real estate, all types of sales jobs. I was in and out of sales jobs doing entertainment when I was younger, coming up, and I fell in love with sales, because I like to talk to people. And so I have a sales business where I do contracting for different corporations and different companies, and I do sales for them, right? So this one company hired me out there in New York. I can work it remotely. I don't have to be in New York to do it. Well, they're giving out loans to different businesses who are lacking capital that they need, right? And they're also helping people to get that EIDL. A lot of people have been trying to get that EIDL that have businesses, and they've been unsuccessful due to the SBA sending them all this information. Oh, you need the T4506. Oh, you need this. Oh, you need that. It seems like you can just never get through to these people. So anyway, and if y'all interested in me helping you get there, y'all let me know. Y'all can always email me at prepperzan@gmail.com. I work with a company that give people their EIDLs. But anyway, so I've talked to so many businesses. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's so bad. I did not know it was this bad. So many businesses that are failing tremendously. They're taking loans I mean private loans where they have to pay not only the loan back, but half of the loan. Say for instance, if they get a loan of $100,000, right? They have to pay the $100,000 back plus another $50,000 in interest. So you know they have to be desperate to take some kind of deal like that. I'm seeing it happen on a daily basis. I'm talking to people who are crying, saying they can't even pay their employees. I'm talking to people saying how their employees didn't even come back. I'm talking to people who saying they couldn't even get anybody to. Oh, thank you. They couldn't even. They can't even hire anybody. You know, at their business, saying they don't know what they're going to do. These businesses was passed down to them from generation to generation in their family, and they're on the verge of losing it. And they're taking loans that they might end up losing their business anyway because they may not can pay that loan back. It's real troubling out here, y'all. The cities are wrecking and raging with crime. I'm talking about just crime. I mean, these are record-breaking numbers, historical numbers in crime. It's just a matter of time. Cities are falling apart. People who've never been homeless before are not homeless. Not just with themselves, with their family members, living in their cars, living under bridges. I'm seeing it, y'all. I'm hearing the stories all the time. People who worked every single day for the last 20 and 30 years. And as soon as that business got shut down, that was it for them. This is how much we depend on the system to do everything for us. And then it's crazy because we depend on the system to do everything for us and then feed our money right back to the same system. And so when the system go to crashing or when the system do the things that's what's going on now, we just out of there. No home, no car, no food. So not only is all these lacks and shortages, it's inflation. So people are lacking the money that they need just for housing. And the prices of that are going up. They saying these landlords are going up on the housing. Then trying to buy food, it's for a lot of people it's impossible because the food cost is so outrageous. Everything, the cost of everything is outrageous. When I tell you it's outrageous, y'all. If you're not prepping, if you're not planning, if you're not preparing, if you're not stacking it up to the rafters, if you're not looking for land, if you're not on some land, if you're not trying to get out these cities, I'm telling you, if you're not trying to own your own business and think outside the box, you're about to be in trouble. And if you own a job, thank God for that job. But if you think that job is locked in and loaded for you, you in trouble. If you don't own that business, if you don't own that job you at, you better stop fully depending on it and start doing something on the side when you get off. These jobs are going down. A lot of these businesses are going down. I hate to say that. Some of them are thriving, but a lot of them are not. You gotta get your house in order, y'all. The system is failing. The system is failing. It's right. It's just in a matter of time. It's just in a matter of time. You can follow me on BitChute, Zan Harold, ZanHarrold. Follow me on Twitter, it's Prepper Zan. My other YouTube channel, Zan Harold, ZanHarrold. If you're interested in community living here in Texas, in the country, in a gated community it's in the country, so we're surrounded by hiking trails, a marina for your boat, fresh deer, fresh lakes for fishing. Please email me at prepperzan@gmail.com. We're coming together. We're building on the property. We're going to be growing vegetables, and we're going to help one another. Email me if you're interested in this. Thanks for watching. Keep surviving. ZanHarrold.com.